Hey guys, so today I'm gonna discuss the secrets of Bill Cipher's Reddit Ask Me Anything. And if you didn't know, this was last night. It was really late, so probably a lot of you couldn't do it. But there were some secrets and some things I want to go over that Bill Cipher said. So I'm gonna be splitting this video into two parts because there's a lot to talk about with each thing he says. So let's get started. Alright, so one of the questions Bill was asked is, what are the things you have already done with Stanley? And Bill said Stanley made enough mistakes without my help. So this basically confirms that one of the stands is Stanley. We already kind of knew that in the past, but this is canon because Bill himself said it. And also, this kind of proves which Stanley it is, because we know that Grunkle Stan probably never made direct contact with Bill, or at least he doesn't know of it, because in Dreamscapers, when they mentioned Bill's name, Grunkle Stan was completely confused. He didn't know what they were talking about. He didn't know what Dipper was saying. And this basically confirms that the Stanley that walked through the portal, that guy is named Stanley. He's not Stanford. Of course, this is just speculation, but I think it would make sense because the author does make mistakes a lot, and it's clear by his writing in the journals. Alright, so one of the questions Bill was asked is why he messes around with Dipper and Mabel specifically and not anybody else. And the rest of this answer isn't really important because I circled the part that actually is important. So, I keep the pines in proper places. Don't look now, I untied your laces. And while this seems really unimportant right now, you have to see a code from Dipper and Mabel's Guide to Mystery. So as you can see, it says the invisible wizard keeps untying Dipper's shoes. And this proves that the invisible wizard is Bill Cipher. And what this code basically means is that he keeps getting Dipper angry, he keeps getting Dipper in trouble, and he keeps messing with Dipper. And this is why he answered this in the Reddit Ask Me Anything. He said how he was untying the shoes. So this referenced that code, and we may see him messing around with Dipper and Mabel more later on in Season 2, especially Dipper, because in this code it specifically says Dipper. So someone actually asked about Dipper's name to Bill, and he answered, saying, "You bet I know his true name. If I had a name that stupid, I'd use a nickname too." Speaking of names, Bill Cipher is basically a dimensional username, a primitive grunt designed for your analog ears. If you heard my true name, you'd evaporate to dust with an expression of horror and ecstasy on your face, which would be fun, but would probably ruin the rug. So, from this answer, we know that Dipper's name is somehow important. We're gonna probably learn it later on in the second half of Season 2, because Bill wouldn't just answer this without any meaning at all. And I don't think they would tease the fact that Dipper has a nickname if they weren't planning on saying his actual name later on. So just expect to see his real name eventually. Maybe it is important to the plot of the show. I mean, it's all speculation, but it might not be, it might be, but we're gonna find out, and that's gonna be pretty cool because people have been theorizing about his name for a long time. Another person asked, "Dear Mr. Cipher, if you're an all-powerful being with no weaknesses, why did you need to make a deal with Dipper to possess his body? Doesn't that put a limit on you and prove that you're not all-powerful?" And Bill Cipher responds, "Alright, you got me. I might have overstuffed my resume. Hey, they say dress for the job you want, not the one you have. But just because my power has a few blind spots now, doesn't mean I'm not angling for a promotion, you dig? Better start stockpiling the essentials, smart guy." So what we can get from this response is that Bill is not as smart as he says he is. He simply acts that way for the people of Gravity Falls to fear him more. But he has weaknesses, we know this for a fact. There's no way you can't have any weakness. That's going to be explored later, and we're going to see Dipper and Mabel use it against him, and Stan and Stanley, they're going to all work together to use this weakness against Bill to stop him in the apocalypse. Alright, so that's it for part 1. Comment below and tell me what you think of Bill Cipher's AMA. If you scan the questions and answers, you can see a bunch of different cool answers. Some of them are funny answers, some have secrets in it. But in the next part, I will be going over even more secrets because there's a lot to cover. And be sure to look out for part 2 of this because there are definitely more secrets that we should look for in Season 2. So be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.